This time out on the Rusty Pilot, we're going to be looking at the top female YouTubers in aviation. There's quite a few of them. It's a mixed bag. We'll look at some of the OGs. We'll look at engagement, content variety, production quality, consistency, and impact. And then we're going to run through some of the smaller channels just like these that I think is going to be real popular going forward. Probably the one you're most familiar with is Fly with K. She's producing the most content. She's also the most searched on YouTube's SEO. This is a marketing package that works so well. Young person trying to get into aviation, buy an airplane, get out there and build hours, record yourself doing it. Sell plane, buy a twin engine, repeat. Fly. The true OG in this space, though, is Stevie. Now, I cannot pronounce her last name, but I remember seeing this 2 or 3 years ago. The channel's about that old, only about 25 videos, but out of all of aviation YouTube, best editing, best use of music, just really, really high quality editing. And I'll give you an example of this. I probably take an hour to edit a 10 or 20 minute video. I bet she spends an hour a minute to edit. Quality stuff. The music works. The contrast works too, because it's a young girl. She's probably 25 years old in a 70-year-old airplane. And then she's doing probably what most people want to see, which is big episodic adventures. In other words, she's going someplace in this plane like Michigan to California or California to Oshkosh. And she's breaking it up into sections which YouTube really likes. Then she has redone that super old airplane with brand new Garmin electronics and bought a tail dragger too and redone it. Everything about that channel works. That is by far the gold standard in what's happening in female aviation. Next up, like Stevie's, Pilot Bambi. Now, Pilot Bambi's a ferry pilot, which is already an interesting job, and there are several, channels out there with these guys ferry planes all over the world. But she is flying some real small stuff like ultra or light sports, and she'll take off from Sweden and fly this thing to South Africa. She'll do it over a course of 12 episodes. There will be a lot to it, a lot of stops along the way. It is perfect in every way. It doesn't look like she's uploaded anything maybe in the last year, but when she does, it's generally a whole story. Both her and Stevie are at spots where if I were marketing and I were Garmin or anything else aviation related, I know I would be trying to get them to be influencers for my brand. She's got a good personality, she's got good storytelling, everything about it works. It's high edit again, so I understand why you're not turning out a whole bunch of stuff. If it takes you an hour, a minute, and you got to produce 90 minutes, that's a lot of time. Some of these channels probably at some point went to having real editors edit them, but every one of these people I really think started editing their own stuff, and now that I'm doing it, I can respect it a lot. Now, Fly with Haley is much like Stevie's channel in the sense this young lady owns a Bonanza. It needs, a lot of avionics work, but she's out there going and doing in it. She does a good job of editing. The music is really good. It all works. Where she is different is she does a little bit of travel vlogging in the videos. So a lot of times people don't show you a whole bunch about where they're at. And if you were to look at the statistics, inside of your videos, you would see people pretty much watch takeoffs and pretty much watch landings. They will not watch long straight flight in the ground. It just doesn't translate very well. It doesn't look any different than drone footage. If she goes somewhere and does something like snow skiing, the snow skiing part will be in the video too. I always wonder if that would take off. If you watch the sailing channels, which are sort of a sister genre to what we do here as creators, it's got some of that in it. She is a ferry pilot also, and she ferries brand new diamonds all over the place. So, you know, big ups to her. That channel's coming on. The more she produces, the more people are gonna follow. She's got some of that it that you can't buy and you can't teach. Next up, Aircraft Salvage Queen. It's a spin on our genre because she's running a business and filming, you know, what she's doing there. If I were the Discovery Channel, I think I would go out and try to buy rights to this. She's kind of spotty on producing, you know, it'll come 4 or 5 at the time and then fall off for a while. It's interesting. It's just like, you know, Stevie flying a real old airplane around and being young in a contrast. This is a contrast. You've got a light-hearted, bubbly little old girl that obviously knows way more about planes than most people do, is running a salvage business. The editing and the music are quite good also. I hope she continues to produce more. It is a must-see for me anytime she produces one. Really enjoy the content over there. Hana in the Sky. This is another, man, maybe 18 to 22-year-old person. You get the feeling from watching the videos that she is out hustling for the next $200 to go flying. She does a pretty good job of jumping in and going on rides with folks and filming it. Trying to find her niche, her editing style. Definitely worth looking. Last female aviation YouTuber I'm gonna cover here is Trixie the Foxbat. Australia, this lady works with horses. Again, she is a polar opposite contrast, and that's why this channel works. Does a lot of shooting sort of 360 type video out of a real small plane in Australia, looking at the coastline, and then going in and looking at the topography of the land too. So it's a sort of more like what you would get in a drone footage with music over it. There's not a lot of voiceover. Some of it there is, some of it there isn't. That's my pick for up and comer. I just really think that channel's got a chance to take off with this addition of a little bit of storytelling. But that's it, guys. Let me know who else you watch in female YouTube. There are a few others that I obviously left out.